So as you guys know, Cybertruck is coming out by the end of this year, and there are a lot of delivery emails already going out to everyone. So if you guys are one of the lucky pre-orders from the start, you've probably already gotten that email inside of your inbox. The early deliveries are going to take place right at the start of December, so keep a lookout for cars rolling down your alley that are ginormous and massive. That is going to be the vehicle of the year, and it's going to be the Cybertruck. However, there are some concerns that I do have here, and it has to do with the overall size of the Cybertruck, and this might be the largest and biggest reason why you might be seeing bulk cancellations going on in the next couple weeks. Now, if you guys can remember back in the days when Elon originally announced the Cybertruck and we got our unveiling, things were really impressive. It was like a massive truck from the future. It was wide, it was mean, it was a crazy machine, and we were all expecting it to be able to tackle everything on the road. Well, in some sense, it's still the case up to this point. However, with the recent releases and the recent spy shots, we've been seeing a smaller version of the Cybertruck, and in a way it takes down another notch from what I just mentioned earlier about it being a lean mean machine. It's pretty unfortunate because we've all been really expecting this vehicle for the last few years, and I know there's been a lot of other EVs coming out on the market, but nothing is comparable to that prototype. Alright, so it's pretty obvious that typically prototypes don't end up being the production vehicles, and this seems to be the case as well. They've made so much modifications to the Cybertruck throughout the years that it's starting to lose away some of the special feel to it. Although the images on Tesla still shows what it's supposedly going to look like, it doesn't seem to be it when we're seeing it live on the roads. Now honestly, after seeing some of these images myself, I'm gonna say that my perception really have changed about the Cybertruck, and hopefully it still keeps a little hint of that Cybertruck that we've seen in a prototype when it does come to production. But I totally understand why they're making these changes, and I'll explain it to you guys in this video here. Let's start off talking about the change of minds that they've had throughout the years, starting from the interior, exterior, and some of the features that we've really grown to love. Now the interior might possibly be the largest reason why you might be picking up a truck overall, and of course the Cybertruck. That is because it's a lot more bigger, it's a lot more spacious, and you can store a lot of things in it. Well, the dimensions of the vehicle has changed drastically, and we'll talk about the exterior in a little bit here, but in terms of the interior, we're going from 6-seater down to 5-seater now. Unfortunately, this is due to the form factor and the shape. Now, when we saw originally in the prototype, there was a center seat in the front row. However, that has been removed now, and that's pretty unfortunate because you could originally have another person sitting right in the middle. You can fold it down into a handrest and a cup holder. Now that is something that might push a lot of buyers and reservation holders away from the Cybertruck because there are a lot of other vehicles out there right now that do have that third seating. Now next on the list here, we do have the yoke or the steering wheel. That has been pretty controversial of what's good and what's not. But what ended up happening was the car got launched with some kind of yoke, and then it switched over to a more familiar yoke that we've seen in the Model S and X, and then finally it switched over to a steering wheel. Now this wheel isn't just any typical wheel, it's the first square wheel that we've seen in a Tesla. So 4 different iterations of the steering column, steering rack, or however you want to call it. It's pretty substantial here, and a lot of us that were wanting the yoke originally is going to be turned off by the square steering wheel. In my personal opinion here, the yoke was fantastic, and if they can somehow implement steer-by-wire into the system, it is going to be a fantastic vehicle. Now added to this is the rear wheel steering in the Cybertruck, and this is going to make a fantastic steering system. Now another thing here that of course I have to mention is the inconsistencies in the instrument cluster. So originally it came without an instrument cluster, just like the Model 3 and Y, and then during the prototype stages when they were testing everything out, they decided that they were going to add an instrument cluster, and it got everybody extremely excited because personally I like having a screen right in front of me regardless of what the situation is with the steering visibility. Take a look at some of these images. It looks so nice because it's shaped to be the form factor of the Cybertruck, very angular, and it works very well, but eventually they decided that nope, that wasn't going to be the case, and they took it out completely. Now with cost aside, if you were to ask me having the most perfect Cybertruck, I would definitely say to have that instrument cluster in front there because I do love having a screen regardless of visibility. Alright, now moving on to the exterior. There is so much to talk about the exterior. I'm just gonna try to sum it up in a few bullet points here. But just take a look at how massive this thing is during the unveiling. That's what she said. It is really amazing, especially when Jay Leno originally tested it with Elon. He said that the vehicle was extremely large, and Elon responded by saying that they're gonna do a reduction in size by roughly about 5%. Now, obviously, this was considered because there are countries out there with very narrow streets, just like the UK, where the vehicle is just not gonna fit in the lane. And if they really wanted to make this a mass marketed truck, they're gonna have to make it fit in every single country. If you compare it to other manufacturers out there, they're making cars specific to the countries, so a lot of features are either missing from one or missing from another, and it just makes a lot more complexity overall. Compared to what Tesla is doing, everything is built for all markets and simply just limited by software. Now here's the thing, after a little while he tweeted out saying that the internal team has tested reducing the overall vehicle size. Even a 3% reduction is too much, so they're gonna be keeping the exact same form factor. Now fast forward to 2023, and here we are, and the vehicle had a reduction in overall size. So you guys get what I mean here with Tesla overall doing all these change of minds. So yeah, this is not just gonna affect the exterior looks, it's gonna affect the interior and the practicality, and a lot of vehicles are going to be coming out, especially EV trucks, that are gonna have a lot of these features included. Now example of this is the 2023 Ram Revolution. That is going to be the vehicle of this year, where it's going to include a lot of things, and they've just recently announced that it's going to include a ginormous 500-mile battery. So yeah, definitely a lot of competition here, and hopefully Tesla is going to release a Cybertruck with that amount of range and maybe beef it up a little bit more before production, because as of right now, if you compare it, you will see that the Cybertruck that we've seen now and the Cybertruck that we've seen earlier looks completely different. Now we've been seeing a lot of spottings lately. Tell me what you guys think when you see some of these vehicles. Is it going to be a vehicle that suits your needs? Is it going to be a vehicle that looks the right proportion to you? Because as of right now, the spottings that we've seen, it looks proportionally wrong. You'll see that the two people sitting inside of the vehicle are kind of squished together. Definitely no room for a center seat in the front row at all. The aggressive, mean, off-road balance of the overall vehicle that we've seen in previous pictures here, which I'll drop on the screen for you guys to take a look at, that balance is just no longer here anymore. You're gonna see that the vehicle just looks really thin, really off-shaped in some way, and we don't know for sure, but as of right now, this is what I'm able to see, and this is what all of us are able to see, and I personally don't like the changes that they've made. Now in terms of length and overall dimension, somebody was lucky enough to park right next to the recent Cybertrucks, and here's a bird's eye view of them side by side. Now if a straight line was drawn right from the front to the bumper here, you're gonna notice that it is not substantially longer than the Model Y, and as for width, we'll take them and plop them on top of each other, and you notice here that it's roughly about an inch wider than the Model Y. So take it however you will, but that doesn't seem that big to me, and that doesn't seem like it would provide that much more space inside. Honestly, if you were to just fold down the seats of the Model Y, you're gonna get just as much loading room as you would for the Cybertruck. So honestly, without seeing the vehicle in person and just seeing it online here, I'm a little bit disappointed. So there you guys have it. To wrap this all up, I'm not gonna say that people are gonna be flocking to the order page or canceling their orders. I'm gonna say that this is going to be one of those things that we're gonna have to wait and see. Now, I think this is gonna be great for countries with narrow roads, but not necessarily great for countries like Canada and the US, where our roads are extremely large and is more than capable of handling vehicles like the original prototype. I don't know about you guys, but I think this is just a North American thing, and we really much desire larger trucks so you can haul things, so you can have a lot of people inside. And removing the extra center seat and all these additional changes here that I've mentioned are really gonna make it hard for people to make a final decision, and it's really a step backwards from the prototype. So let me know what you guys think. Am I kind of right here or just plain stupid? I don't know, but drop it in the comments below. And while you're at it, please hit that subscribe and that bell notification for more. As soon as I get any more information regarding anything Tesla related, I will update you guys. This should wrap it up for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is John once again. Peace out.